For Mission Impossible 2, Metallica contributed I Disappear, and when the song leaked onto Napster, it changed the landscape of the music industry forever. In a landmark case, Metallica sued Napster over the leak in 2000. However, the file-sharing genie was already out of the bottle, and the stage was set for downloads and eventually streaming to become a huge part of how people listen to music. Throughout Hollywood history, actors have produced their own films, started their own production companies, and in the case of United Artists, even launched their own studio. Tom Cruise became his own producer on the first Mission Impossible, and this has made him very rich. As Variety reported, Cruise is taking less money up front for the next Mission Impossible movies, but he's getting a big chunk of the movie's first dollar gross. This means that he'll be taking home sizable bonuses even before the studio gets a full return on its investment, whereas a star normally has to wait for the film's final back-end gross to be tallied before they get a piece of the action. Cruise's deal for Top Gun Maverick means he can make upwards of $100 million, and he's certain to make a truckload of cash on future Mission films as well. The Mission Impossible films have always been known for their stunning action sequences, and the filmmakers know well enough by now to put particular focus on delivering the goods with each new installment. Sometimes, in fact, the stories are built around action scenes, rather than the other way around. The sole credited screenwriter for Mission Impossible 2, Robert Downey, had worked with Cruise previously on Days of Thunder and The Firm. Downey had worked as a script doctor on a number of films, including Bonnie and Clyde and The Godfather, so he knew how to come in and deliver great scenes when a movie needed help. But writing a movie around the action scenes was something he'd never experienced before. As Downey told Creative Screenwriting, they said, "These are the action scenes. What do you think of coming up with a story to fit them?" I said it was an insane idea, but I did it. Downey finally came up with the key to the story from researching viruses. Then the idea dawned on him. What about a villain who creates a deadly virus so he can make a fortune selling the antidote? It's a chilling idea for an action film, and it would be even more scary today in a post-COVID world. A lot goes into a movie, and with Mission Impossible Fallout, McQuarrie told the world in an Instagram post just what challenges went into making the movie. The filmmaker posted the following: 3,000 setups, 13 helicopters, 6 pregnancies, 5 hiatuses, 4 weeks of aerial photography, 3 continents, 2 winters, 1 broken ankle. But that's a wrap. The broken ankle belonged to Cruise, who was injured in a stunt. As Cruise explained on The Tonight Show, he was supposed to be running and jumping across buildings when the accident happened. According to reports by Far Out, Cruise was back in action 7 weeks after his injury. As to why he does his own stunts, he explained, "It has to do with storytelling. It allows us to put cameras in places that you're not normally able to do." Cruise explained how the first time attempting a stunt is equal parts anxiety and adrenaline. He mentioned how others tell him he's got a huge grin on his face while shooting these dangerous sequences. As Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was being hyped at CinemaCon 2022 in Vegas, McQuarrie promised the film will feature the most dangerous stunt the team has ever attempted. In order to pull this stunt off, Cruise needed 500 hours of skydiving training, and he had to perform 13,000 bike jumps to nail the landing perfectly. Beyond the stunts, the Mission Impossible shoot was also dangerous because of the pandemic. Cruise in particular made headlines for some heated exchanges with crew members who failed to follow a strict masking mandate. Cruise and McQuarrie also both reportedly caught the virus, while McQuarrie had to be hospitalized. Apparently, Cruise has had the urge for dangerous stunts since he was a kid. He revealed at the Cannes Film Festival that he jumped off his roof when he was 4 years old, making a parachute out of a sheet. The actor described how he recognized it was a bad idea as soon as he leapt, describing how he feared dying from the fall or his mother killing him for doing it. Since COVID hit, the movie industry has been on shaky ground. A number of movies were delayed, productions were shut down, and many were scared that streaming would wipe out the theater-going experience. As the industry attempts to settle into a new normal, Tom Cruise is hoping he can save theaters with Top Gun Maverick and the upcoming Mission Impossible movies. The next Mission films will be released in 2 parts, and Cruise set up Top Gun to have a 90-day theatrical window, giving it as much time as possible to make money at the box office. Cruise initially wanted Maverick to have a 120-day theatrical run before the movie went to streaming and other secondary markets, but studio negotiations whittled that down to 90. Forbes speculated that Cruise could use the success of Maverick as a bargaining chip for release terms on the next 2 Mission films, which could also play a big hand in saving the theatrical experience for movie fans. As Cruise himself wrote on Instagram, 36 years after the first film, Top Gun Maverick is here. We made it for the big screen, and we made it for you, the fans.